Hello everyone, this is Bashar Masad from MKN Group. This video clip is about Synway UC200-15 IP PBX. This is like an amazing PBX. As you see, it has 15 concurrent calls, 60 registered users or extensions. It has by default 4 PSTN lines, the FXO and 2 FXS. What's more amazing, which is for now exclusive to the MKN firmware for this PBX, is the auto discover and auto provisioning feature. So what I did today is I'll show you. I connected 4 different phones: HTIC, Fanville, Grand Stream, and a E-Link too. So here's the E-Link. I've connected them to the same network. I'll show you more details about the connection because this is an important step. Okay, here. So initially, this is what I did. I connected the LAN with an L port of the Synway PBX to the network, to our network, not to the network that has the phones, because I want to isolate them into 2 different not isolate completely, but just to put them in 2 different subnets. So this LAN is connected to the same network where this computer is, and that will give me the initial access to the PBX. Now you see that by default the LAN port comes static IP 192.168.0.101, and of course we go, and then the username is admin and the password is admin. Please change it later, don't keep it as is. Okay, so now if I go to system and I go to network settings, here what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this mode from dual to route, and I'm going to keep the one on DHCP. If you receive your PBX different, just change it to DHCP. And I'm going to enable the LAN port to be a DHCP server in order to give IP addresses to the phones. So this is going to be 192.168.0.105 to 192.168.0.120, assuming I will not need more. And enabled. Okay, perfect. IP address. So I believe that's what we need for now. And then I'm going to hit save, and then this PBX will restart. What's gonna happen after I restart the PBX is I'm going to connect it in a different way, because now I'm sure that one port is connected is connected to my network where this computer is. So the one port, which is this one, is connected all the way to my computer. The LAN port, I'm connecting it to a D-Link switch here, PoE switch, and I'm connecting the 4 phones to the same LAN. So all the phones will be in will have an IP address 192.168.0.105.106, and I let it and actually the most important thing here is to access the PBX, because after that, this is the nice feature we're talking about. Everything will be the auto discover and the auto provisioning will be through the PBX. So I'm going to pause this recording to go switch the cables on the UC200. Okay, so I have switched the cables again. This one going to from WAN to the network of the whole office, and from LAN to another switch where the phones are connected. So now I should be able. I found out the IP address of on the WAN side using the advanced IP scanner, and it was 192.168.2.216. And I'm going to log in as admin. Admin. Perfect. So, and if you want to go back and just have a look at the network settings, you're going to see that the network settings are exactly how we left them. Now, usually I don't like using setup wizards. I like him to do everything from scratch. But this time let's use the setup wizard because it guides you to the most important things that you need to do. And the first thing is choose your correct time zone. We're in Eastern time zone. Either you use an NTP server or just modify the date and time to the correct one that you have. It's 9:20 in the morning now, so I can just say 09:20. That's it. And next, password, need to change the password. So I'm gonna put admin1234, just to change that one, admin1234. And then I'm gonna go next. Network settings, we don't need to do anything, except if you remember, this one goes to back to do all when you do the wizard thing. So I'll put it back to router, and just want to check that everything is fine. Yes, it is. And then we continue next. And extensions, I'm gonna just put it 20. That's the range of your extensions to 50. And I'm gonna add the extensions now because we're already here. So I will start by extension 20, and let's create 5 extensions for now and let the system give them random passwords. Actually, it doesn't matter because we're gonna do the auto provisioning. So we hit next. Now we go to trunks, add a trunk name. Okay, and we have our own VoIP service, which is it's VoIP time, and we have really very good plans. I suggest that you guys go to our website www.itsvoiptime.com and just quickly, one of the nice plans that we have is this one, which is 45 US dollars, and you get 10 channels and unlimited calls to USA and Canada. And this is real, and one free number. I have many customers on this plan for years now. Anyhow, let's go back here to the username is, and the same thing. Let me make sure that there's no space here. Okay, and paste, and then the password. And then the trunk domain, which is voip.itsvoiptime.com. Okay, let me hit next. And now everything's supposed to be done, so we hit finish. And okay, now it needs to restart. We'll say okay, and we wait for it to come back online. Okay, so it's back right now. So let's go and hit advance and log in. Remember, we changed the password. User is still admin. Password admin1234. Log in. And here we go. We're back. Now let's check a few things. I just want to make sure Status always gives you like the PBX status. You see like the extensions, and of course these are the ones we created. These are by default, and these are the FXS ones, which is also by default on the PBX. I'm gonna remove these in a second, and let's see trunk status. It says failed to register, and I think I know why. Let's go to the PBX trunks, and one of the options we need to change is where are we connected. So here it says external LAN, but we are connected through the WAN. So if I change it to external WAN, save. Okay, we go back to status, PBX monitor, and trunk. It says failed to register again. Let me check why. Trunk. Maybe I just typed something wrong. Let me double check again. So, fail to register. This is the username, the password. And okay, let me just freeze this and save. And go back to status. Okay, I will get to the trunk failing to register later. It could be like wrong password or something. I'll get back to it, not a big deal. Now, the most important part is the auto discover auto provisioning. So we go to PBX, then we go to auto provisioning and open it. As you see, nothing here. One click on device search, and we'll wait a little bit, and it's gonna find the 4 different phones with 4 different manufacturers here. Alright, perfect. So actually it did find the phones not on that network, it was searching the WAN port. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete these and ask it to go search the LAN port. I go to config and I say, okay, go to search the LAN. Save. Oh, it needs a restart, fine. It was actually a quick start, software start, and now let's, after we change the config to search the LAN, let's do the device search now. Alright, so here are the 4 phones connected. Grandstream, Fanville, E-Link, and HTIC. It found them all. And the only thing I need to do is go and assign extensions or find the model number 2130, this one, and boom, gives me the configuration of the 2130. I'll say line 1 is gonna take extension 20, and I can do like more. Well, 2130 is a basic phone, so it's like there's almost nothing else. Save, and now it's gonna send to extension 20. Fanville phone, we're gonna make it extension 21, and the model number is an X5S. Here you go. Now the Fanvil X5S has BLF keys, DSS. So here, if you go here, see you can configure all of these directly from here. So key 1, BLF attended transfer, and it's going to be for extension 20. And you can put a name. All right, so you can do this, and that will automatically be downloaded or provisioned to the phone. And okay, so the HTC phone, same thing. We have the HTC 926E. Line 1 will be extension 22, and here are also the keys. I can make it BLF Cold Park, and value, let's make it 420 just for testing. And yes, and the last one is the E-Link, very basic phone, this one. So actually it's a G, I think the one connected is 46S. No, the one connected is 23P, I think. Yeah, so this is gonna be 23, of course, like no keys, and we're gonna hit save. Okay, and all phones supposed to be provisioned. Now if I go to the status and I go to the PBX status monitor and look at the extensions, we see that, oh, still unregistered. It may take some, oh yeah, because it's provisioning the phone. I see the phones restarting on that side, so maybe it's gonna take, yeah, it's gonna take some time until these are registered, the ones that we have created. Oh, here you go, the first one registered, the extension 22, and these will come slowly after that, after the provisioning is completed. Let's wait to see at least another one. See the fan, the phone is coming up. Come on. Okay, I'm not going to waste time waiting. We'll come back to it. If I go back to the PBX and the auto provisioning, just want to show you that there's also a template that you can create. So you can create a template that will, let's say, first you choose the model. As you see, like, there's also the scene phone, which is not very popular here in North America. Let's say a Fanvil, and the model I want to create the template for is an X5, and I'm gonna call it Fanvil X5, and then I can create the template. I just wanna put, let's say here, line, save, just a simple thing. And now when I go back to devices, I can assign, where is that? Here. I can assign a template to that phone. Did we create it to X5S? Doesn't look like we did it for X5S. Let me go back and see. Template. Yeah, X5S should be. X5S. Here you go. Save. Save. And hit. Okay, so when we go back and go to the Fanvil phone, instead of programming these things here, we can just choose the template. Okay, I'm not gonna choose it right now. So that's very helpful when you have many phones share the same configuration. Okay, so let me go back to the extensions. and see the status after we did the auto provisioning. Oh, not this one. PBX monitor, and then we go to extensions. I still see them unregistered. Let me go check what's going on. Okay, so after we give it some time for the phones to restart, actually one of them restarted twice. Now we see all the four phones are registered. These are the phones connected: 2021, 22, and 23. Okay, so now we're gonna go back and do two main things that we need for this thing to work. The first thing is the inbound rules and the outbound rules. The second thing. Okay, so let's go here. And of course, there will be part two of this video that we will talk more in details about IVRs, ring groups, and all the other features available here. But let's go now to call control and inbound routes. Inbound routes, we decide where we want to send the call. There is by default one rule, and that rule, just straightforward. By default, it comes with four FXO ports here. But what we can do, we can add this trunk and remove these. Well, anyway, if we keep them because they're not connected. Oh, okay. So now you can see that. Where's the other one? You can add a time condition, you can have a mobility extension. The most important part is the destination. And there is no DID pattern, there is no caller ID pattern. That means anything that hits the PBX through any of these trunks, regardless who's the caller, regardless anything, regardless what number was called, because on the same SIP trunk, as you know, you may have more than one number. I just want this to go to extension 20. That's it, as simple as this. And hit save. And as I said, when we go to part two, we're gonna go and in more details about different options of IVRs and adding time conditions and all that stuff. So that will make it work. All the calls coming through the SIP trunk will go to extension 20. Now, the other important thing is the outbound routes. So here there's also a default one. One of the things that I don't like about the other PBXs in the market, or at least the ones I know of, they come with no default inbound, no default outbound. So you have to go and create one. Otherwise, you start making outgoing calls and nothing goes through. Anyway, so the default one, it has pattern of anything. So if you try to call any number, and here it means anything you dial, any digit, any type of digit, and here you have the members of this rule. So now these are not members, so we just add them all here. So now they're member of these routes, this route, and they can call using this one. Now the trunks here, the MKN is not there, so we move it now, it's selected. I'll talk about zip codes later in part two. And there's no password, that's it. I mean, just enable it and don't use any time condition. Just say, we don't have any time condition specified anyway. So that's it. Actually, this means that this call is gonna go through these trunks. But you know what? Now I don't want to keep these here, because keeping it here Um, Keeping this here may create a problem because there's nothing connected to these FXO lines. So I'm going to remove them and keep just the zip trunk. Um, if I hit plus to add another rule, I can add whatever pattern I want for outbound rules. Like for example, um, if somebody calls certain number, actually I have to create it in a different rule. Let's say I want 911 always to go through an FXO, for example. But I'll leave it like this for now. And as I said, in part two, we'll go in more details. So now actually we do have a functioning PBX that can call in, call out, extensions are registered, phone are registered. Um, so this is like the basic configuration of this PBX. Um, Stay tuned for part two that will be coming soon. Thank you. Again, this is Bashar Masad from MKN Group.